Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where or when you're listening to this. Welcome to Second Yellow, a footballing podcast where we get together and give you the latest football news, pull together teams, and many more. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And with that being said, let's get into it.
Welcome to another edition of Second Yellow. As always, we'll start first, welcoming Miss Manchester United herself, Candy Kane. Say what's up.
Thank you.
And while he works on his own time, the Samuel L. Jackson of
Yes.
Nigeria, Liam. Say what's up.
Hey.
Stewart, you are too dignified to give any nicknames this week until I finish the
What?
office. Then I'm gonna have many.
Okay. What's up?
And adding a little class to the podcast, quarantine. Say what's up.
The best for the end. What's up, everyone?
My name is Mornay. You all know me. Well, last week's was all about Chelsea, but we'll start with, well, Frank. It's been a pleasure, but it kind of shocked me on Monday. I didn't expect it, but I also did expect it.
Yeah, I'm about to say the same thing. I didn't
Um,
and did at the same time.
but I would never have thought it happened. But I think Stuart mentioned it last week or the week before. Uh, Abramovich is ruthless, and
Yeah, he's cutthroat.
every Chelsea manager since he's taken over has, if they show any sort of dip in form, or any sort of you know backroom shenanigans going on, for lack of a better word, it tends to come to an end. And unfortunately, even a club legend like Frank has to see the door. But what do you guys think of Frank out, and what do you think of his replacement, Tuchel?
Well,
Tuchel?
Thomas Tuchel, I do think it was a rush decision to take Thomas Tuchel. With the Paris team he has, except winning the league by beating small team, he didn't do nothing else. He arrived in Chelsea where there is much more competition in the league. Obviously, you have a team like look Burnley, we beat Liverpool. It's not like the small team in the League One, and
Mm.
he never really show up in Champions League. I mean, what he did last year was, I mean, it was a bit of a joke, man. He arrived, I mean, all the players weren't respecting him. You could see when he was on the bench when Mbappe was going out during the Champions League. He was even shaking his hand. I don't think he's a right man for Chelsea. Personally, I won't be surprised if he's out by December.
Wow.
Well, I mean, he only got an
Okay.
18-month contract, which is
Yeah.
quite
Yeah.
rare in football nowadays, which I'm quite glad for, because these folks they're walking into jobs with like 4 or 5 year deals. Um, so big ups to him for accepting an 18 months because he obviously doesn't know where he's going to be after 18 months. I think the appointment was quite clear for what's his name, Werner and Kai Havertz being a German coach.
And Rudiger.
I think, yeah, but I mean, Rudiger's been there a while. Kai Havertz is 71 million and he hasn't produced much. And Werner was also
Yeah,
quite
but
expensive and he
Rudiger
had a bit of a
started
good run
straight
in the
away.
beginning.
Like,
Sorry?
Zuma's been in the team. Zuma's been in the team for a while, and as soon as Tuchel came in, Rudiger started again. So they're just kind of showing
Yeah,
maybe
okay, fair enough.
you
But
might
I
have
think
a German bias, but you know.
I think possibly getting a German coach is sort of behind the scenes thinking, okay, well, we need to get the best out of Werner and Kai Havertz because, they were our big
They
marquee
cost
signings and they're just not doing
100%.
much. So I think getting a German coach in for German players is probably a good shot. 18-month contract, I think, well played, Abramovich for getting somebody to sign that.
But
Yeah, I can't believe it. I can't imagine
Do
how
you,
much he's
do,
earning. I didn't actually see. But for
but do
18
you
months,
think
I
it
also think
was?
during
go on.
COVID
Sorry.
times, I also think it was a smart move from Abramovich, and also just for
Yep.
him himself. Like you're not gonna find many
I
good
was just about to
clubs
say that.
right
Yeah.
now. So an 18-month contract where the world is so topsy turvy, it's a win-win for both sides.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
and I feel like 18 months is a good sort of number to assess where you're going as a team from a coaching perspective. I
He'll,
I
and
think
I
one year
think he
might
has.
be too short. I think 18 months to 2 years is probably a good sort of benchmark.
I also feel like now
for
he has enough time until summer to know what he needs to get. And when he does buy in summer, it'll be completely his, like his view. He didn't come in just before the end of the season and buy randomly. I think he has enough time to assess who he needs or who he doesn't want. That come next season, beginning of next season, you will be entirely focused on his team.
Yeah, no, yeah, true. And I mean,
So
okay, he didn't do much with PSG other than win the league, but I mean, Janita will win the league
Yeah, of course.
in
Who else is
France
gonna
with
win?
PSG.
Yeah.
But he did get to a Champions League final. No coach before him with PSG has done that, and they've had some decent coaches. So can you say that he's a shocking coach? Probably
I
not.
think like Candace said, it's the best for now. Like you sack Lampard
Yeah.
now, you look around, they're not necessarily, I'm just spitballing here, but they're not necessarily gonna go poach Diego Simeone or you know what I mean, from a bigger club. Like take a big manager or anything from another club mid-season.
Yeah,
No,
but
you're
if you're
gonna
not 100% sure on Tuchel, and maybe it is just the German connection that Abramovich has gone and done this, because I didn't see or hear of any shortlist of managers. It was just okay,
There's not
he's the
many.
new manager, boom, done. But
Yeah.
I mean, he could have just gotten. I mean, how many times has Chelsea done this? Sacked somebody at this time of the season and gotten a Gus Hiddink or something just to hold the fort for 4 or 5 months. Or even
Yeah.
less,
I do
because I
feel
mean,
like there
May the
wasn't
season's finished.
But there
I think
isn't.
I feel like
That's
there
what
wasn't
I
a
say.
short list because
There,
they must have
there
had him in
is
mind
no
for a while.
managers around, and I think
Yeah, there isn't
COVID has a
anyone.
factor to play.
Yeah.
What's going on in the world today, it has a factor to play. Tuchel was, I believe. Well, I'm just trying to think what they were thinking was the best available manager at the time, and they might
Yeah, but this is
obviously they
very
sat
unlike
down.
Abramovich, though,
No, it's
because he
unlike him.
normally
You,
he sacks
you
people. I mean, at a whim. But then, if it's not the end of the season, he gets a interim manager in for the time
yeah.
being. He did it with Gus
Yeah.
Hiddink twice, and you can't tell me that there's no international football. You can't tell me that some of these international managers would be like, yeah, I'll take it for 4 months.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's
I
no way
guess you
that you
can.
can tell me that there's international managers that would be like, oh no, I'm not going to go coach Chelsea for
Yeah,
4
but
months and
they
get like
probably
a
got
mil or something like that.
obligations toward the national team too. Like the
What
national team
obligations?
might.
There are no games. There are
Yeah,
no
but
games.
you don't know what the situation is going to change. Plus, we don't know if there's a
When it's
Euro
gonna
coming up in
change.
the summer.
When?
So
Not
an
for this
international,
year. I don't think it will be any international game. I don't think the Euro will happen even.
yeah, but
Yeah,
again,
like you've
like
got to look at the bigger picture, and it's four. Oh, we in okay February. Just call it February. So it's February, March, April, May. So it's 4 months.
yeah,
4 months away till the end of the season. For the Prem, you're not going to. I don't think there's going to be any international breaks, because there's no countries that are going to be willing to be like, oh, come over here and come, play football and get COVID to all our country. So that's not going to happen. So these international managers are just, sucking their thumbs, maybe drawing up plans or something. I don't know. I'm sure there are some obligations, but you can't tell me that one of the managers would be like, you know what, stuff it. Let me go coach Chelsea. I need a coach, and go back to international coaching when the season's finished. Because there's no international games until the season's finished anyway.
yeah. I
You
guess in
know,
that sense, yeah. Go X.
yeah, I was gonna say it's quite. I've got such a interesting kind of take on the Lampard sacking, because even though over the time I've trolled him, especially because of the fact that I felt like he didn't get the same treatment that Ollie did at the time, especially when results weren't any better. But of course, I'm a believer in patience, and I heard someone say recently, um, I think was it Gary or someone. Someone said Ollie, not Ollie. Frank's actually been better this time around with Chelsea than he was his first stint. And obviously, again, it's a thing of everyone can see that what's going on in the Prem. It's an unheard of year. It's been crazy. Man United was first for a while. Like there's all these crazy results happening. So as a board to look at that and still get rid of him, especially your homeboy as well,
Yeah,
I still think was very
Mm.
harsh. I think it was
I
very
I
harsh, even though
I
he got
agree.
the money and he bought the players and that. Again, like a part of it makes me feel like not all these players were even Frank's players, because at the start of it, it looked
There
like he was
never
trying to
will
build.
be.
yeah, at the start of it was looking like he was trying to build an English squad, build them around Mount and Callum Hudson
Yeah.
and Abraham. And then all of a sudden, have
Yeah.
no bias. I have no opinion on German players. I love them, to be fair. But all of a sudden, these players come in and now he has to, incorporate them in his system. And I think that's what's kind of messed him up because he's had to play all these players. And, the board can't give you this money they spend on these players and you're not playing. That, like, especially Abramovich, there's no chance. So he's had to incorporate all these players into the team. And we all know it takes time. Man City didn't win a league for their first few years. And they were out here splashing crazy. How many teams actually are really successful after spending so much money on their team first year round? I think it's only Chelsea.
None.
And even then, they had
We took
before Mourinho come. You lot still were splashing a bit, but it just
yeah
goes
that
No, you're
first that
unheard.
splashing big
first
with Ranieri and you won nothing. You
yeah
lost
that
to us in the
first
So,
FA
year
Cup final.
yeah
so
the
it's a
first
bit.
year we won no trophies, and probably Ranieri spent more than Mourinho did the following
Yeah,
season.
because I think at that time it was Joe Cole, you bought Duff, you bought
Glenn
Robin,
Johnson,
Glenn
yeah,
Johnson.
all those
Yeah,
players.
you guys went big.
But then,
Um,
as Stuart said though, like I think I literally believe Thomas Tuchel was only signed because he was affordable. You could probably see from him signing an 18-month contract, and also German thinking he
Mm.
could get the best out of these players. Because any other day, I think they'll probably try and approach someone else or be more patient for someone else.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
again, when you look at Tuchel, like his resume, it doesn't even sell you like that. Like I'm sure he
I,
was he not the one sacked by Dortmund?
No,
He like
they didn't sack him.
he left
He
Dortmund.
he
he
left,
came to
but
he left to come to Paris.
he
yeah,
weren't doing amazing there. He left. Then it's like you go to Paris, and it's like when you go to PSG, what else do you want to do? Like it's Champions League or bust. We don't care what you do in League R. Like we really don't. It's Champions League or bust,
The
and
Uber Eats League.
the Uber Eats League, the Uber Eats League. That's actually so funny. But we don't really care what you do there or doing the Cup de France or all of them competitions. It's about what you do in the Champions League, and he was there for what 3 years or
Yeah, but
something like
like
that, and
Stuart said, he did go to the final with them.
he
He took
did.
him.
But again, are we gonna? Okay, it's not. I'm not gonna say it's easy to win the Champions League and stuff like that. It's not. But again, when you've got some of the great, like the best players playing for your club, you have to make it a target to achieve it or to be able
Yeah.
to reach these finals
But
consistently. They haven't.
you know,
Didn't they get
saying
knocked
that,
out by Man United one year? Like what the hell?
yeah,
Like we're
it's
poor.
also it's also the times we're in. Remember the Champions League, like he ran into that Champions League final. But also, it
With
wasn't
a broken
the
leg.
it wasn't
Yeah,
the smoothest. It
he
wasn't the
was on that scooter.
smoothest.
That was funny.
Yeah,
He wasn't
it
even
wasn't
sitting on a bench. He was sitting on a cooler box the whole time
yeah,
But don't use
it
during
the
the
wasn't the
semi-final and the
smoothest
final.
transitions.
I can use the Champions
Um,
League, the COVID as a reason to say maybe that's probably why they got that
Yeah,
far.
I think I was
So
gonna ask, the Champions League is much easier to take now because I think
yeah,
you have that advantage where away games don't really feel like away games anymore.
that
Going to
Yeah,
that
but you
Turkey
still.
remember
right
But
now,
remember it
going to
was
Turkey
knockouts
to
everybody
as
still
defend.
well.
has to play away. Everybody
It
But
still
was
has to
exactly,
play away.
knockouts.
I remember Gary Neville and most United players saying going to Turkey is like hell. It's hell. It's the worst possible thing you could ever feel. And now you go there and it's completely empty and it's not that intimidating anymore. And it
Yeah, but
doesn't
it's the
put
same
you
for
off like it
everybody. It's
used
not
to.
like the
Of course
Turkish
it
have to
is,
go
but
to
that's what I'm
England
saying.
and face crowds,
yeah.
and you go to Turkey and
But
not
what
face
I'm
crowds.
saying is that
It's
Yeah,
the same for
it's just a
everything.
lot more equal. It's more equal now.
no, but remember this Champions League was different in the fact that they didn't have the home and away legs. They just had knockouts straight. And
Yes, yeah, they did.
Yeah,
so
but they wanted to
again,
finish the Champions League. Let's be honest.
yeah, true.
And
Well,
I mean,
I think
PSG
I guess
were winning their head to head.
yeah.
And Bayern Munich, I mean, we're never going to lose their head to head. I think they were, what was it, 7-0 against Spurs?
No, when they started the Champions League, they were 3-0 up on Chelsea.
Oh, okay, so
The,
they'd
the
smashed
next
Spurs before
round,
already.
yeah, no,
Yeah, okay,
I
so
think they
yeah, so
smashed
they were
Spurs
never
up.
going to lose a 3-0 lead against Chelsea. I remember that actually, yeah. Um, yeah,
who knows?
so it's both of them went through to the final because they deserved to go through to the final. They beat whoever was in front of them.
Should have lost to
PSG.
Atlanta, to be fair.
Do you think this appointment also has something to do with Thiago Silva?
Mm,
You played under
No, I don't
Tuchel?
think so. I don't think so.
not really. I wouldn't say Thiago Silva was,
Was the
let's
turning
say,
point like the
Yeah, but I'm
a
pretty sure
product of Tuchel.
Abramovich or somebody would have gone to Thiago Silva and said, "Look, dude, you played under this guy for a while. Is it worth us pursuing this?"
Maybe,
And
could
he could
be.
have easily gone, "No, that's why I
yeah
left
maybe
PSG because he's rubbish." Or he would have gone,
yeah
"Actually, you know, not a
100%.
bad shot.
I'm,
18 months,
yeah,
cool."
I'm
I'm
sure
pretty sure the
there's.
players who have had experience with him were definitely, and it was actually they talk about his, and I agree in a sense, but they speak even more so about his technical ability and his attention to
as
detail and whatnot.
as we
So,
have in this
and it was coming
podcast.
from Buffon.
Yeah, as we have this podcast now, they obviously he's already had his first game. The 0-0 draw against Wolves, not great. But the sort of feedback coming from the players and stuff, I don't know if this is just
Yeah,
maybe to impress
it
the
says
media or
positive.
something, but the
Yeah,
feedback
one
is coming
game, come
positive,
now.
and no, but I'm not saying on how good he is, but they're saying like they like his training style and stuff like that.
Yeah, they
But then
like the way he
again,
does things.
they said the
Oh,
same
that's good.
about Frank Lampard. So
Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
let's
I don't think the
see.
players got
I mean,
Frank sacked.
yeah,
I don't think
No,
it
no,
was one
no.
of those
That is
Mourinho
for
situations where Hazard like just went to the changing room and told everybody, "Look, tell this guy to jog
yeah.
on because we don't want him in our change room anymore." I don't think that was the case. I think results were literally the
yeah.
only reason why Frank got
I
sacked.
do. I also think that was the only factor in it. I don't think
I
it
don't
was
think
because
the players did that. But what's good with Tuchel is that he's probably a good manager because he did well at Dortmund and then PSG looked at him and PSG don't go sniffing around randoms and you know average because they've got big bucks and they've got big ambitions. So he obviously did something at Dortmund enough for PSG to come sniffing. Some managers just can't handle big egos. And I feel like he might have been one of those managers that, you know what, like with the Neymars and the um, you know, Mbappe's and all the egos or whatever, they kind of turned on him because they basically run the club. I reckon Neymar and Mbappe run the club, same as Messi runs Barcelona. Um, so I think him coming to Chelsea, you don't really have massive egos at your football club, in my opinion.
No, not right now.
I
No.
don't think you do. Not
no,
at
I
the
don't think
moment.
not anymore. Not
No.
anymore.
Yeah,
They
definitely
definitely
not
were, but
anymore.
not anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there are huge egos or like prima donnas or you know I'm the best and I need to play every minute and whatever. So I do think him coming to Chelsea is probably a good thing for him because I reckon he's a good manager without the you know stupid drama and you know backstabbing that I bet you Neymar and Mbappe do all the time. If they don't spark something at training, they'll probably go to the sheikh and say, "Check, yeah, I'm not playing on Saturday if we're going to do this training session like tomorrow." And the sheikh would go to the coach and go, "Look, cancel training. I don't want my guys being upset." That's what PSG is, in my opinion, as a football club. I don't see them as
Yeah.
anything spectacular. I just
Other
see
than
them
that,
as
yeah.
overpaid prima donnas that, you know, basically want to do whatever they want. I mean, Neymar's come out on national television and said that he doesn't even like soccer or football and like he doesn't watch it. He only
No
does
one
it
here.
because
I've
it
seen
earns him
so
money.
many good. I've been seeing so many good videos lately of Neymar with fans and stuff that it actually did change my opinion on him a little bit. I wasn't ever really a fan of him, but the things I've seen lately and the way he helps charities and whatnot, he does a lot of good. So that did change my opinion a little bit on.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's fine. But when
agree.
you're
I
earning
agree. But
$500,000 a week,
yeah,
you know, you can give
He
some of
doesn't
it to
have to. He doesn't
charity.
have to. He doesn't have to.
Ah,
Just
yeah,
like
I know,
Marcus
but
yeah,
Rashford doesn't
but
have to do what he does. He does. They don't have
yeah,
to,
but
but
these
they
guys
do
have
it.
yeah, but
Which
publicity
shows just
agents
that
who've
they have.
telling them what to
I
do.
just
I'm
think it
pretty
shows
sure.
their
I'm pretty
morals
sure
and
that
their
a lot of
conscience are
football
a
are
bit
doing it.
better.
I'm pretty sure a
Oh,
lot
but
of footballers are doing it, but obviously, what the media want to do, they will rather prefer say that Neymar is breaking the COVID rules and going to organize a party than push that
Yeah.
saying that he is giving to charity. It's the same. I remember when in France it was this big polemic because Ribéry went to eat this in this restaurant in Dubai when the beef, the ribeye, is a ribeye with gold and it cost I don't know how many thousand of dollar it cost, and they said, "Oh, Ribéry is buying the." And after he answered, he said, "Look, he's almost giving 20% of his salary in charity to help kids to go to school to so." You know, a lot of footballers are going to giving to
I
charity, but
do.
it's not for media. There's no point to say it because he's not bringing them money. No one will read something like that. They would rather read that a footballer is they caught a footballer in a strip club, then it's more money for them.
For sure.
Yeah, but at the same time, also footballers like they're not mutually exclusive. Lots of footballers can do nice things and still be complete idiots, which I also get. Like you can do really nice things and still have the biggest or lie or whatever else, go to parties and give to charities. Like just because you give to charities doesn't mean you're not going to sneak out of COVID rules and go to a party. But maybe Neymar just gets more from each side because he is Neymar.
Well, there you have it. If you're enjoying the content we're putting out, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and don't forget to leave a like. See you guys next week.